Hello everyone. I am Mary. My friend Doudou has to take a break for a while due to health reasons. I will bring you wonderful content in the future. If there are any shortcomings, please give me more suggestions and I will try my best to correct them. Okay, let's move on to our topic today. Are men no longer capable when they are 30 years old? Many girls should have the same wish as the director. That is, when we become rich women in the future, we will find a few young handsome men to support us, and the age is strictly controlled under 30 years old. The main reason is the famous line in Fatal Woman, "It's good to be young." A more strict one will be limited to male college students. Because if the urban legend that men are no longer capable after 30 is true, then they must be going downhill after the age of 25. A male star named Lee can only date girls under the age of 25. So why can't this rich woman? Then, the question is, will men's sexual ability really drop off a cliff after they are over 30? For the majority of married heterosexual sisters, the satisfaction of their sex life drops sharply after their spouses are 30 years old. I want to clarify here that although it is a joke to support a college boy, it is not so simple whether a man can keep a baby until he is 30 years old. When men reach menopause, even their testicles will become smaller. When women reach menopause, their ovaries will shrink and stop ripening egg cells. Men will experience similar things during SOP. First of all, starting at the age of 40, the weight of men's testicles begins to decrease, and the observable volume reduction begins at least before the age of 50. By the age of 70, the testicles are only about the size of a 10-year-old boy. With this comes the decline of spermatogenes. Starting from about the age of 30, the sperms of men will slowly decline. By the age of 50, about 1/3 of men will no longer be able to produce sperm. However, this situation is not a one-size-fits-all situation. Some men can still maintain a relatively healthy testicular status spermatogenes at the age of 50 due to good innate conditions, proper exercise, and balanced nutrition. In addition to the reproductive function of the testicles, let's take a look at the sex hormone secretion function of the testicles. Testosterone is the legendary male hormone that allows men to maintain muscle, energy, and high sexual desire. According to the research of Wang Yu, Zhu, and others, the testosterone of Chinese men only shows a significant downward trend at the age of 40. In earlier literature, a cliff-like decline was not found until the age of 80. But whether it is 40 or 80 years old, after the age of 40, the estrogen content in men will gradually increase because estrogen and androgen are homologous substances. With age, even if testosterone is still secreted, their chances of being aromatized and turned into estrogen also increase. In general, in terms of reproductive function, the more obvious watershed should be 40 years old, not 30 years old. If this man takes good care of himself, it is not uncommon to have healthy functions at the age of 50. Impotence, premature ejaculation, and low libido increase sharply after the age of 30. According to a survey of 15,000 men aged 15 to 60 in my country, researchers found that about 23.6% of people felt that their sexual function declined at the average age of 40. That is to say, some people feel that they are not good enough before they are 28 years old, while some people still feel energetic at the age of 52. The older you are, the worse your sexual function will be. The average age at which impotence can be diagnosed is 37 years old, and the average age at which premature ejaculation occurs is 34 years old. You see, although 30 to 40 years old is indeed the median age range of not good enough, the span before and after is still very large. Impotence and premature ejaculation may happen sooner or later, but for some people it is really too early, and others are still living well at the age of 50. I have to say that fate is really unpredictable. But in terms of sexual desire, Only 8.2 of people expressed a decline, with an average age of 48. That is to say, at least when they just reach the age of 30. The sexual desire of most men has not declined significantly, assuming that the man's function has not declined so quickly. 30 years old is indeed not an age worth worrying about, if it is the illusory support status we discussed at the beginning. Rich women really don't need to take this risk. But for heterosexual couples living in daily life, or young girls who are looking for a spouse, there is no need to be superstitious about the legend that men are not so good at the age of 30. Another good news is that in intimate relationships, older men will pursue more intimacy in the relationship. In the article, does he love me or just want to sleep with me? This may be the wrong question. We said that our society has cultivated men into a group that needs to use sexual desire to express intimacy. But as the bond between partners deepens, men will gradually be willing to reveal their true intimate needs to each other, and as androgens are replaced by estrogen, and as sexual function is gradually lost, they can also better appreciate the weight of intimacy and enjoy the romance of growing old together. In short, in terms of sexual function, 40 is a more worrying age. But in terms of the experience of intimate relationships, it is really hard to say.